Welcome back everyone to the Complete Pineleaf. Last time we finished up our last major mission here in Udun, so now let's see what Mulnir needs us to do now.
We are Gondor's eyes and Gondor's swords in this place.
You've been a great help in the wake of Lahir's folly. You have helped lead us to conquer what resistance and pitfalls we have encountered here in Mordor. Some of our company have pressed through, past the gates of Kareth Angren, and into Dora Marth. When you have accomplished all that you wish to do here in Udun, those in Dora Marth could use your help. Alright, then let's head over to Dora Marth. Ah, the ice and mouth again. I suppose that means I'm going to have to kill a few orcs in order to get into here. Unless, of course, they've let down their guard and are just going to let me in here. The Azimuth is guarded. By whom? But when has that ever proven a hindrance to you? Well, if the guards don't see me, I suppose I could just walk right on through. Oh yeah, I ran to a couple of stragglers along the way, but I guess I must have scared off the rest. They're saying maybe there was some fancy great elf coming after them. We find out who the elf really was. I'm sure they're not going to be too happy about their misidentification. But I think we now need to find the camp. Actually, I see a flag up there. I suppose this is the camp. Ah, here we are. Yes, I see our trusty friend, the stable master. You have found Brugos in the Doomfolds. Alright, and what do we have here? To Udun Threshold, that's it. Alright. Oh! Oh, hello there, Gimli! It's good to be in the thick of things again, isn't it, Pineleaf? It was odd to see dwarves in Udun. I did not realize any lived in Mordor. Do you suppose there are more of my lost kin in these lands? Well, I would presume that if we found a few in Udun, we will be finding more elsewhere. I think that's a possibility. Well, let's see, what do we have here? And this is Burgos, I guess? No, this is... Don't worry. Hello, Legolas, I didn't recognize you. Gimli and I have not ventured over far into these lands, my friend, and I'm not certain I wish to. The men of Gondor call this place Dor Amarth, the Doomfold in the common speech. Its name was wisely chosen by these men, for I feel a deep shadow looming over us, even so far from the ruins of the Dark Tower. Gimli has found old tools and dwarf make in this ruin, and though he will not speak of it, unease has crept into his mind. If ever dwarves dwelt within Mordor, it seems their fate was not a pleasant one, and that their line has long ended. Well, it hasn't completely ended. I've run into a few dwarves in here, and if I've killed every last one of them, well, then it only recently ended. Well, anyway, this causeway forks some distance into the south. One path leads southward and appears less well kept by the orcs, while the other rises and continues into Barad-dûr. Oh, that sounds like a fun place to visit. I would ask that you follow the causeway south to the fork and then beyond to the east. Search for foes that are there, still held as slaves, and perhaps we shall find something to raise Gimli's spirits and draw his thoughts from those distant kin. Do not stray far from the road, my friend, for we have much still to learn about the hidden evils of Mordor. All right. Now, what did you say? I need to search for foes or those who are still held as slaves. Okay, sorry, I missed your or there. Okay, then what else we need? We need to the Brungos. Not, yeah, Brungos. Let's say that. Hello there.
Come, come.
We have managed to push through Udun with only a small resistance. Now the task before us is to see what remains of Sauron's citadel, Barad-dûr. I'm glad that you're with us. I presume that means I'm expected to do the scouting of Barad-dûr. Why am I surprised? Yeah, okay. Let me guess. I'm supposed to look into Barad-dûr?
Aye.
You see, I thought so. Yes, as we have fought together on the Pelennor, I well know that you can protect yourself. Still, the plains of Golgoroth are filled with fires and crevices caused by the eruption of Mount Doom. It's a dangerous place, and we must tread carefully. Our first scouting party has just returned, and with them they bring a captive. The man they have captured is a black Numenorian servant. He refuses to speak to us. We must either persuade him of our cause or somehow convince him to talk. I'm not too sure this is a good idea. The last time I've had a prisoner of a black Numenorian, it did not go well for us. Anyway, I was hoping that you would try speaking to the man because I have experience dealing with these scoundrels. Anyway, see if you can find out what he knows and who he serves. Well, possibly himself. I mean, after all, his real master is dead, right?
Do not make me regret this.
Well, does that mean you're not going to tell me anything? Well, let's see. How about see my fists?
Must I speak with the likes of you?
No? Okay. Let's see. Do I have anything else I can do? How about anger?
Do not make me regret this.
If I speak to thee, Dugabeth shall have me killed. Oh, so you work for the mouth, all right? The black word is not one to be reckoned with. The mouth of Sauron is all called the black word. I suppose that makes sense. My name is Lomazar. I was once a faithful servant of Dugabeth. I have made more than one mistake, and as punishment was struck blind. To escape further torment, I severed my bonds, only to be captured again and brought here. Perchance you will spare my torment inside the walls of Mordor in exchange for knowledge? All right, I'll listen to his words, but we all know how far we can trust these guys.
Do not make me regret this.
I say again, you must give your promise to send me away from these lands. Even rotting in the dungeon until the end of days would be better than endless pain and torture in the hands of the Black Word. Well, okay, I can see your point there. Very well, you'll be treated fairly as a prisoner, assuming you don't do anything like kill the guards, persuade them to do evil, break out, or anything like that. Okay, good. Now listen carefully, as I have not the strength nor the will to repeat what I'm about to say. I do not know why only the most important and awe-inspiring bits fell to earth while much of the sea remains. Dugabeth, the Black Word, known to you as the Mouth of Sauron, has claimed what still stands of Barad-dûr. He has many followers, myself once included. Now Dugabed seeks to rule all of Mordor and take Sauron's place by use of a powerful relic buried within the tower's walls. None will oppose him. His faithful servants are not to be trifled with either. Glugoth, the Whole Warden, Sapakar, the Cleaver, Krasapura, bringer of tears. These are all names that strike fear upon mention. Do you now possess the knowledge that you seek? Alright, well, it'll do, I suppose. The search for Sapakar.
What do you want?
I would be wary in tracking Sapakar the Cleaver. The mighty Olakai might easily be outsmarted, though makes up for such by brute force. I know not where to find him, so I had to worry about Sapakar. Okay, and what else do we need? The Shadow of Narhral.
Must I speak with the likes of you?
If you seek allies of Dugabeth, look first to the enemy of Sauron. Many years ago, a beast by the name of Narhral crossed Sauron. He was locked away in the dungeons of Barad-dûr for his crimes. The dungeons can still be found within the ruins of the citadel. There are troubling rumors that Dugabeth has spoken with Narhral. Find the beast and kill it at once. If the tales are true, there are few as dangerous as Narhral in the lands of Mordor. Alright. And to do that, I knew someone's going to send me in the Barad-dûr. I mean, what else could happen? And I suppose this. What else?
Do not make me regret this.
You wish to seek more knowledge about Krasapursa, the bringer of tears? Well, I can't help you there. Well, I have seen the Wraith before. She is a mystery. She follows her own will and serves Dugabeth with devotion, but it is in her own secretive ways. Alright, so well, let's have a little chat with Ingold here. What do you say?
Come then.
Men under my command have reported a large creature similar in description to the Sapakar that you mentioned. The monster was last seen near Barad-dûr, of course. I hope this assists you in your search, my friend. Yeah. It really assists me. Oh, and look who we got here. We have, oh yes, Brungos. I have been talking to all these people and still not talking to Brungos.
Welcome to the Doomfold of Dor Armath.
Yes, but even as I bid you this greeting, the words rebel upon my lips. Welcome? Who could be welcome in this place? It is the way of my people to survive in the wilderness, hunting game and foraging for food, even when the land seems barren. Those skills would be well tested in this place. Luckily, it should not be necessary. I have brought supplies enough to last me, and in any event, I would not trust anything that you can grow here. Was this valley once fertile? I can't imagine it, but mortal eyes are oft quick to judge, given how little we see of the great span of time. Perhaps Sauron came. When he came here, was this land green and growing? Mayhap I will consider further when we are safely away from here, Pineleaf. For now, the land is dead and full of enemies, and we should ask pointed questions with dagger and blade, and set aside any questions that do not fell our foes. Well then, maybe when we are far away from here, we could ask the elves that participated in the siege here, because I run to at least one of them, and I suppose that there are a few others who may remember what this place was like before then. But I suppose it's time for me to head out. Perhaps we should just start simply, and that is to kill a few foes. And as we kill a few foes, we shall also... drakes. I'm not too sure about drakes. How about this bat? Kill a few of the foes that are in the area. And do a little bit of scouting. And then we could get to the greater order of business later on. And of course, it's a diseased bat. Why not? Defeated enemies in Dora Marth. One? Okay. What's that up ahead? Oh, a worm! Oh, we can do that. Let's see. Worms, this is 109. I'm 108. Oh, maybe it's just highly reflected. I thought it was something I needed to click on or something. But nah, it looks like it's just very bright. Now, fortunately, I am at 38 of 30 for the light, so I don't have to worry about that at the moment. But I'm sure as soon as I get anywhere near Barad-dûr, that's going to change. Because I am sure that Barad-dûr is going to be a real... Well, I won't even jokingly refer to that as a pleasant place. Because it's definitely the complete opposite of it. And that Drake was also very much the opposite of pleasant company. Oh, goats. Well, we know how nasty these goats are. And we have this little war band running around over there, so I gotta be careful of them. Fortunately, I don't mean a war band in the literal Lotro sense of the word. But I'm sure they could be unpleasant to run into, neither less. Now, just kill a few more of these and find that causeway so that we can start a little bit of scouting. And maybe that will satisfy things for the moment. Assuming I could survive these battles against 7 more enemies. Well, there's a big beastie. Not very aggressive. And we have a salamander. Well, I have bad dealings with salamanders in the past, so I am sure that a salamander in Mordor is not going to be any more pleasant than any other salamander I've run into. Right? There you go. Ah, here's an intersection right here. Maybe a good place to look around and do some scouting. You notice what appears to be a dwarf and a goat lying still beside the causeway. Oh, yes, that is. Wait, you're saying some dwarves ride these things? Far from wild, this goat is saddled and laden with various trinkets and supplies. A shield. Wrought of dark steel, the shield remains unblemished despite the fate of its wielder. And one slain dwarf. The dwarf lies slain in queer armoring. Well. I suppose we could bring that to Gimli. Anything else we need to do around here? Oh, we do still have one more enemy we need to kill. I have a feeling a rift crawler is not going to qualify for that, but I'm sure I'll run to something nasty along the way. Look, I see a bat right up ahead here. A bat very definitely will suffice. It's a big bat. Maybe I should have a big stick and hit it with it. There you go. and soon you'll be battered. There we go. Now what do I need to do with that? Well then, not only do we have to speak with Gimli, but also, Brungos. A double header. And back, I've thinned out a few enemies, though I must say there seems to be plenty of them left.
Can it be that this land was once much like any other?
I've faced many foes here myself, but still my mind worries at the subject about which we spoke, Pineleaf. Can it be that this land was once much the same as any other, but the coming of Sauron laid waste to it? There are countless reasons to rejoice that he's gone, but even one among many, it must be approached the top of the list. If he could do thus to Mordor, could he not have done much such change on Gondor, or upon Rohan, or even Eriador? I deem that he could. Further, I contend that the transformation of Dor Marth to the blasted plain was not accidental. I believe he did it purposefully, with malicious intent, if not for some schemes, then merely for the hateful joy of it. I spoke about this with Covadil, who dared the passage of Azimuth with me. She did. I think it was she who first planted these thoughts into my mind, and now I can't stop thinking about them. She intended to travel northeast to Lolgosh. I warned her to be careful, but she found that mirthful and laughed at my warning. Yes, that sounds like Covadil. She's a scholar, but a bit odd. But I do hope that she is being careful all the same. Perhaps you could find her and see how she fares. All right. I'll see what Covadil is up to and make sure she hasn't gotten into as much hot water as all the other adventurers have got themselves into. Well, I haven't heard anything about that elf yet, but maybe I could ask her whether this place was once green, though that was only a few thousand years ago. Hello there, Gimli. I found these artifacts. What are these? By your description of his wounds, the dwarf you encountered must have been caught by a stray stone thrown from the depths of Mount Doom. Poor dwarf indeed, but not one slain by malice. The Dark Lord must not have brought my kin to ruin after all. Ha ha! Look at this, my friend! This shield is newly forged and crafted by skilled hands. So dwarves still dwell in Mordor, but where have they made their home? Where have they made their home? As I hit level 109. Where? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.